Good afternoon. My name's Sam Hughes. Welcome to our session. I'm from Amazónicos por la Amazonía, AMPA, and I'm here to tell you a bit more about a project that we carried out last year in 2025 with the help of the Critical Ecosystem Partnership Fund, tackling one of our main challenges, which is the visibility of the voluntary and community-based conservation in Peru. So without further ado, this is Narrativas de Conservación desde el Territorio, fortaleciendo las capacidades de comunicación digital de actores locales. So very quickly about voluntary conservation in Peru. There are over 200 voluntary conservation initiatives in Peru, protecting nearly 2 million hectares, and that's not even considering titled indigenous territories. These are real conservation modalities such as conservation concessions or private conservation areas, which are protecting a really wide array of ecosystems against the threats that we know so well: deforestation, illegal logging, forest fires, illegal mining, and the biodiversity loss and threats to ecosystem services that follow those. Facing up to those threats are a huge number of community and local organizations, but there are real barriers to their participation in the conservation world. There's a real gap between them and the conservation technology that we've been talking about so much in the last few days. And that often leads in a communications context to a lack of visibility for the conservation efforts that they make every day and their contribution to the conservation of the ecosystems that we all need so much. So what do? In AMPA, we provide technical support to voluntary and community-based conservation initiatives through networks of voluntary conservation. And in the context of this project, we wanted to strengthen local capacities in terms of, we called it a digital ABC and reporteros del bosque, forest reporters. So our main objectives were to build local capacities, empower local actors to not only manage their reserves, manage their finances, write the reports that they needed to hand over to local authorities, but also be able to publicize the work that they do, produce audiovisual materials that they can publish on their social media accounts to attract tourists, researchers, or other kinds of allies. In this project, we worked with 3 conservation concessions, Bosques de Marona, Santa Elena, and El Gran Mirador de Juningue. There are 3 conservation concessions totaling nearly 2,000 hectares in the Moyobamba key biodiversity area. This is in the San Martín region of Peru. And with the 3 organizations that run those conservation concessions, we work with a total of 40 participants, 25 men, 15 women, and with a real focus on youth and community leaders. So starting with the digital ABC, we implemented a participatory methodology, strengthened capacities in the use of basic digital tools like Microsoft Office Suite, for example, using Word and Excel to manage finances, write reports, using smartphones to take pictures and get in touch with new allies, and even using chatbots to facilitate and make all of that work a little bit easier. Now I think we're going to hear a few of the testimonies from the people who were involved directly in that project. This video will be in Spanish. I don't know if we have the translation QR code up and running so that people can translate it live. And then I'll give you a few moments to get on board with the translation, and then we'll play the video afterwards.
Bueno, la experiencia que nos han enseñado ha sido muy bonita, me siento muy contenta, alegre, quizás que nunca hemos agarrado esa computadora, pero de hoy adelante ya sabemos un poco para saber utilizar los celulares, para tomar fotos cuando salimos a campo, a patrullaje.
Es importante cómo podemos, utilizando las herramientas, llegar a la gente, ¿no? Nos está ayudando a todos, nuestros miembros de la concesión, de la ronda campesina, y a comunicarnos mejor con nuestros visitantes.
Para mí ha sido muy importante aprender porque nos ha ayudado en la documentación, nuestros informes. Hoy en día ya puedo tomar lo que es una foto, hacer una buena toma, manejar el celular.
La experiencia ha sido muy bonita, hemos aprendido a manejar lo que es la computadora, la laptop, y donde ahí hemos entrado a varias aplicaciones y de esa manera podemos nosotros conocer muchas cosas, amistades, vender nuestros productos. Estamos agradecidos de las ingenieras que nos han enseñado con una amabilidad muy bonita.
Alegres y contentos al recibir estos talleres de capacitación a todos nosotros.
Fantastic. Moving on to the second part of the project, Reporteros del Bosque. This was really building on the digital ABC, so building on capacities that had already been strengthened in the management of technological tools. We wanted to take it a step further, and in this case, build local teams of forest reporters who could go out and create their own audiovisual materials about the conservation work that we do. So, starting with participatory workshops, we wanted to strengthen capacities, not just in the management of those technological tools, their smartphones, their external microphones, and their cameras, but also in the construction of their narratives. So how do they as a group prioritize what's important to them, and how do they pick their line of communication to best communicate those priorities to their target audience. They went out and then planned their shoot, and that involved building their team. They built a team of 5 forest reporters in each community, which had 5 technical roles, among them directors, camera operators, producers, narrators, and editors. They ran and executed the shoot, and then even edited their clips together afterwards to produce a short trailer or reel for social media for each one of their documentaries. This part of the project was not without its difficulties. Obviously, any kind of field work in the Amazon has some kind of difficulties related to the weather, especially when using camera equipment outside. And also, the availability of professional quality camera equipment was not always available to the communities, and so in some cases, we bridged that gap by lending them some equipment that we had as a technical team. And finally, editing the longer clips had some higher data needs, and so in some cases we supported with that as well. But the key takeaway is that this kind of community-led communication is really possible, really viable, and it just needs some kind of technical support to start with to ensure that those communities can have long-term autonomy in the materials and communication strategies that they might carry out in the future. The outputs and outcomes, a few numbers for you. The 3 teams of Reporteros del Bosque, totaling 15 members between the 3 organizations. We had a total of 3 audiovisual materials that were put out by this. In the case of the Santa Elena conservation concession, 60% of the technical roles in their forest reporters team were occupied by women. In total in the project, 73% of women expressed their commitment to continue with these kind of communication strategies into the future. And nearly all of the participants were confidently using key audiovisual terms at the end of the project as well. And then talking a bit about the territorial and wider impact, we really managed to consolidate local community communication networks. We managed to create digital content that was not just digital content for digital content's sake, but had some real territorial identity with it as well. And then sustainable production that had a wider impact when we linked those forest reporter teams with local networks of environmental journalists. And now, in our last few moments, I'd like to leave you with one of the trailers. Unfortunately, I don't have time to show you the full documentary here, but this is the trailer that our friends from the Bosques de Marrona conservation concession have made. So I'll play that now. and I'm sure that's left you wanting to learn more. So I'll leave you with these 4 QR codes. At the top, we have a link to our YouTube channel, which will take you to a playlist of the 3 Reporteros del Bosque final documentaries. And then below, we have the 3 social media accounts of the 3 community organizations, where you can keep up to date with what they're up to and the photos and videos that they continue publishing in the future. So I'll leave you with that. Thank you very much for your attention, and I hope that you can follow our friends from the 3 community organizations in the future. Thank you.